So what to do with the feeling of a deep paralyzing fear? With that feeling of hopelessness and powerlessness, and it's hard to move and think clearly, and we are in this fight and flight and freeze response, which is our default protective mechanism. And at that point we even just feel afraid of the thoughts and emotions themselves, not maybe even the actual event that might have preceded this. So it becomes very unconscious event, really, that once the fear hits, and we feel weak and defeated and vulnerable. And in that lies the great opportunity to heal part of our limiting beliefs, part of our habitual behaviors that don't serve us anymore. So what do we do? My name is Marek, and I'm here to guide you on your journey to know yourself and love yourself. First, as you become aware that you're feeling so much fear, take a breath. Take a slower and deeper breath. Very, very important piece. And say it out loud to yourself. I feel deep fear. I feel this paralyzing fear. And that brings more awareness to that situation. Number one, okay? Number two, when you're feeling this fear, point to it as though it's happening to yourself versus that you are experiencing it. So change the perspective, change the point of view. This can be done for just a moment, just to step out of that difficulty of the feeling, step out of that feeling basically. You can say out loud to yourself, Marek, I see you are feeling fear. What can I do for you? When we get into some sort of situation, some part of our brain where our mind starts to just cycle the same information of feeling difficulty, feeling fear, feeling unease of any sort, there is no way we can get out of that from that same place. We have to shift to a different place, to a different state of mind in order to actually get out of it. So it's like the saying by Einstein, we can't solve the same problem with the same consciousness that has created it. So in some sense, you have to basically become someone else. You cannot be in that same consciousness of fear to get out of fear. Your mind cannot fix the mind, okay? So we have to get into this space outside of it. So we point it out. We point out awareness to it. We say it out loud. We feel it. We say it in third person. Marek, I see you're experiencing fear and it's paralyzing you. Is there something I can do to help you? And then you can sit there for a moment and just breathe. What you're gonna do next is a most important piece, really. You're going to welcome that. From that perspective of your removed self, you're going to look at the self as the experiencer and your higher self as the helper, okay? Or you can even visualize your higher self as like the gamer in the game, and yourself that's feeling these feelings, that's having a hard time, that is in this fear, as the avatar in the game. And so if the gamer itself was to navigate the avatar, what would that feel like? That's where you remove yourself. So sometimes that image of being the gamer and the player in the game, the avatar is the one that I'm talking to. So, and that's just another way to look at it, if that's helpful. So you're going to allow this feeling and ask yourself again, what can I do to help you? And bottom line is really, we all want love. We all want to be loved. We want to feel loved. We want to be full of love. I'm not talking about love, sentimentality, or whatever. We're talking about the state of loving kindness, okay? Compassion, appreciation, etc., etc. So being in the state of love where when you get attention from a family member or a spouse or a friend, and you get affection, you get appreciation, you feel good about yourself. That same feeling is what we want to try to impose onto the self that is suffering right now. So in the third person as yourself, you can say something like, Marek, I can see you're feeling fear, and it's deeply paralyzing for you. I just want you to know that I love you. You are absolutely loved. Remember, your friends adore you. Remember, your parents love you deeply. And if you have parents that you perhaps feel they don't love you, find somebody else who does love you, and just imagine that person embracing you for that moment. You can imagine your higher self, that removed self of yourself that's hugging that self that is struggling, okay? And then just sit with yourself. Breathe, slowly, deeply breathing, and watch that fear dissolving. All of a sudden you may start feeling better. And then once that happens, another important step after that is to continue to raise your energy. So it isn't easy to feel gratitude when you are in a state of deep fear. Perception of gratitude is one of the ways to raise your energy fairly quickly. When we are in a space of energy being super low, we feel this fear, we feel anxiety, we feel depression if we are staying in this fear a long time. It comes to depression. So begin to recognize that pattern, and that's the thought process you're creating. If you want to create that process, if you're not fed up with it, if you're okay with it, if you're getting something out of it, maybe you are getting something out of it. There's some part of you that enjoys being a victim to the circumstances, a victim in front of somebody. Maybe there's some way of love and attention and appreciation, affection that you got when you were a child, when you were little, when you played victim. So there's some sort of limiting belief within you that says, I want to be victim because I'm getting what I need, actually. So if that's the thought process you want to continue doing, then go ahead. You have a choice, however. You can create thoughts. Every morning you wake up, every day you walk through your day, every evening before you go to bed, you create thoughts that serve the purpose of what you came here to do, that allow you to get into higher states of consciousness. And again, how do you do that? You do that with perception of love, perception of gratitude, appreciation, or care. So any one of those emotions, bringing it to yourself through your thoughts. Okay, thoughts are basically a delivery system. Your system, your body, your soul is like a the genie in a bottle. You say, okay, well, I don't feel worthy, and so nobody really cares about me anyway, and I have no idea why I'm here. And your system is gonna go, okay, your wish is my command. Are we gonna continue to keep the thoughts in the mind that nobody cares about us, that nobody loves us, and we don't care about the world, etc., etc. So if those are the thoughts that you want to keep putting into your mind, then do. Nobody will stop you. But you are in charge. You are in charge. You are in control of your own life. Nobody else is. You are in control of your own mind. Nobody else is, unless you let somebody else to do it. Okay? But you can and are be in control of your life. So.
Do you believe in fate, Neil? No,
Why not?
because I don't like the idea that I'm not in control of my life.
I know exactly what you mean.
You'll remember you don't believe in any of this fate crap. You're in control of your own life. Remember?
So, quick story. Recently I was bedbound, being sick, and it was so severe that I don't typically get sick, so this is like not normal thing. And so it was so severe that my mental health was took a dip plummet. It was really hard for me to feel any hope for myself, for the world, for anything. And I was feeling myself getting into this deep and paralyzing fear. I felt that. It was really heavy feeling. One thing I knew, I recognized, is that if I stay in this, if I continue to allow myself to feel this over and over, every hour, every day, all the time, every week, I will inevitably crash. Once you start going down that rabbit hole, there's no way out. No easy way out, let's just say that. It is way easier to pause, to stop at the beginning when you start becoming aware that these are the thoughts that are circulating in your mind. Now I know already that those are not the thoughts that I want to continue to play in my mind. It's very dangerous. You know, it's not safe at all actually to keep playing those thoughts. It's like falling into a quicksand. It's really hard to get out once you're in it. So very important to catch it early and just say it. Say what you feel it, point it out from a perspective of a third person. So talk to yourself as though you are your friend, okay? And then welcome it, allow it. Don't resist those thoughts, but also don't identify with them. That's the second point, where you step outside of that system, where you step outside of that cycle and allow the thoughts to be there, but you're looking at that process from a different vantage point. Okay, so and then welcoming it, as in welcoming love to overpower, to come in and let yourself feel gratitude for whatever it is. It can be, you can start with something super simple. What are you grateful for? What could you be grateful for? Just the fact that you don't have to sleep outside, maybe the fact that you have a car that can drive you anywhere, maybe the fact that you have some money to get yourself some places, and maybe the fact that you have good friends, maybe the fact that you have a good spouse or lovely home or a wonderful family, or whatever it is. Even one single thing. Maybe you're grateful for friendship of a specific person. You know, whatever you can think of. Breathe that thought, that emotion into the body. So visualize that gratitude towards whatever it is that you want to be grateful for. Anything that comes in mind first, that's okay, doesn't matter what it is. As you start feeling a gratitude for that, breathe into that. Let that emotion within you expand and let it permeate to fill you up. As that happens, the gratitude deepens. You will begin to feel your energy rise. You will begin to feel better. So remember, say it out loud. Point it out from a different vantage point, third person. Allow yourself the feeling of love from your higher self. Welcome, don't resist, just welcome, allow it, send it love, send it affection, send it attention, send it appreciation, and when I say it, I mean you. Send yourself that's suffering these feelings, as though you were your bigger brother or bigger sister, or your sweet aunt or uncle or parent or whoever, caretaker that you love, that loves you. say it from that perspective, if that helps better. And once you're done with that, once you feel this dissolving of these feelings, breathe, 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 breathe a lot. So slow in and slow out, maybe count to 4. Every time you inhale, every time you exhale, okay? And continue with that breath until you feel that gratitude rise and fill you up so much that you can just take on the world. And I know you can do this. A friend asked me yesterday, so what do you do when you feel this fear and this depression or anything that comes up, if you feel anxiety, what do you do? So there is a list of things that I have in my toolbox for sure, such as, I do breath work every day, I take cold showers, helps me center. I do little workout practices every day. I will journal, not all the time, but often, pretty often. Sometimes talking to a friend, sometimes affirmations will work. Sometimes I'll do either yoga or qigong or tai chi or something, and mostly meditation. Meditation is definitely high on the list, I would say. And I'd say affirmations and breath work is the next down. And also what I refer to as internal relaxation that we do in Tai Chi practice or Qigong practice and or Kung Fu practice as well with my students. So if you want a little more information on that, definitely check out some of my programs online. I'll leave a link below. Now sometimes it does happen that none of that really feels like I want to do any of it, or that I will try some of it and I won't have any relief. So sometimes it's just important to just be with yourself. Just be there and let yourself feel those feelings. Like I said, remove yourself, look at it, look at your experience, your feelings, your emotions from a different vantage point, and allow. So I will say that if you guys don't have any kind of affirmations guidance, definitely look into getting some. I have some on my website. You can take a look. I'll leave the link below. Or find somebody else's affirmations, like Louise Hay is my high on the list, absolutely high on the list person that does affirmations that it just feels good. It's being reminded, really, where you want to be. So, like I say, even if that doesn't work, just sit with yourself. Something's gonna shift at some point. Just be aware. It's not gonna be there forever. It may feel that way, but it's not gonna be there forever. And if you are lucky and have good friends, definitely let them help you. That was also one of the things that helped me tremendously through the dark nights of the soul in my recent sickness time, and it was just so comforting to have someone to talk to, even just for about how you feel, and they could just hold the space. If you're lucky enough to have friends like that, then definitely use that. And to all you, my friends, thank you so much again for letting me work through this and get through this. So.